Olá, bom dia a todos. Desculpa, meu microfone estava silenciado aqui. Eu sou o Neo da DENEM e hoje vamos ter o nosso primeiro dia da nossa Exchange Fair. A gente vai começar com a apresentação da Bulgária, tá? Vão ser 20 minutos de apresentação e daí logo em seguida a gente vai abrir um espaço para dúvidas. Então, se vocês quiserem, podem mandar dúvidas aqui no chat, que eu vou ler todas, tá? E daí eu vou ler durante a apresentação. E depois das duas apresentações, eu vou soltar o form de presença e daí todos têm que assinar, beleza? Todos têm que preencher ali. Não vai ter palavra-chave, então é só preencher mesmo, mas vai ser mais pra frente. Não vai ser agora no começo que eu vou soltar o forms. E daqui a 3 minutinhos eu vou colocar a Esteliana e a outra Nel para elas poderem apresentar. A apresentação vai durar uns 20 minutos, como eu disse, né? Se tiver alguma dúvida, podem mandar aqui no chat. Beleza? Até daqui a pouco, galera. Tchau, tchau. Good morning, everyone. How are you all guys doing? So today we have Stiliana, Sofia, which are both neos from AMSB Bulgaria. It's a Balkanic country. They will explain for you furthermore, like they know way more than I do, certainly. And Karina, which is a Leo, so she's a local exchange officer from AMSB Bulgaria, and she will present how her LC works. Stiliana, the floor is yours. Whenever you want to start, you're free.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good presentation.
Thank you. Just a second so I can share my screen. Do you see it?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I can start. Thank you for the invitation and the introduction. I apologize, someone is making a noise outside Saturday in the afternoon. I don't think that's normal, but we shall see. And I'm a little bit sick, so I'm not very up to date. But I'm very happy that we're here and be able to present our little country to the Brazilian students. Our country is called Bulgaria, and it's called the land of roses because I think we're like the biggest exporter of roses and rose oil in the whole world, which is, for a small country, it's a big thing. Stilana, you can change. First of all, where are we? This is the map. You can see we're in Europe, in Eastern Europe. You cannot see here very much on the map, but on the next Yeah, we're close to Romania, Greece, and Turkey. Yeah, basically these are our neighbors. We have Greece, Romania, North Macedonia, Serbia, Turkey, and of course the Black Sea, so southeastern Europe, let's say. We have very good connections to other international airports in Central Europe or in Western Europe. We have 5 different airports you can get there, and of course, very good bus transport and railways to smaller cities.
Yeah, okay. So hello from me as well, guys. Now I'm going to talk about a little bit of our history and for our culture. First of all, when you come to Bulgaria and if you hear the phrase Bulgarian three C's, remember it, because Bulgaria is a really, really old country. The territory used to be and still is part of so-called ancient world. Why Bulgarian three C's? Because during our golden century, as we called it in Bulgaria, we used to be almost an empire, like a really, really big country, almost the whole Balkanic Peninsula, even close to Ukraine on three seas, which are the Black Sea, the White Sea, or the Aegean Sea, and the Adriatic Sea. It was during, as I told you, during the golden century in the 9th and 10th century. Now, what you can see, let's say on the right top, you can see a really famous picture. It's one of the first cans. Can is a title like a king. One of the first cans in Bulgaria, the one who founded Bulgaria actually, Canis Baruch, is part of the picture. But in the middle, you can see his father, Can Kubrat. He has 5 sons, and what he's trying to tell here is related to the legend that he shows them a lot of sticks, and he's trying to teach them to be always together so they will be unbreakable. Unfortunately, this didn't happen, and everyone went through his own way, his own path, and that's how Bulgaria was founded during 681st year. And until today, Bulgaria has never ever changed this name. In the right, but in the bottom, you can see this is our alphabet. It's called Cyrillic alphabet. Nowadays, it's a little bit different because we lost a lot of letters, but it's basically still the same. It's a bit controversial as well because Russians tend to say that it's their alphabet, but it was written by Cyrillic and Methodius. They wrote it in nowadays. I think it's North Macedonia, but they are Bulgarians. Below in the middle, you can see one of the biggest treasures in Bulgaria. As I told you, Bulgaria was part of the ancient world. A lot of different civilization used to live here in these lands, and it was really common thing during the last century for the, let's say, for the rural people to go through their lands, to plow the land and to find it on just to find it in their lands. And after that, all of these treasures are represented now in the museums, especially in Sofia. You can see one of the, like, this treasure especially. As Sophia told you already, you can see in the left on the top, we are one of the biggest exporters of rose oil. A lot of brands, really famous brands, are buying it to make their perfumes. And now, because it's June, and now we do have like the biggest festival, which is related to the rose. It's situated in Kazanlak, which is a city below the Stara Planina or Old Mountain. What else you can see on the in below on the bottom, in on the left, this is like Bulgaria is like a spa heaven because we do have a lot of mineral resorts. And in the middle you can see our flag. Usually the flag and the coat of arms in the middle are separated, but let's talk about the colors. First of all, our flag is consisted of 3 colors. The first one is white. White represents the freedom, green represents our nature, and red represents the blood of the fallen soldiers that gave their basically their lives for our freedom. And regarding the coat of arms, we do have like a 3 lions, which are part of it. In Bulgaria, we don't have lions, but lion is our national symbol. and because of the quality, but you cannot see below, there is a saying which is "Съединението прави силата," or "the unity creates the power." Something else which is related to Bulgaria, a lot of Bulgarian people are famous Bulgarians are related to sports. For example, in the right you can see Hristo Stoichkov. He used to be a football player in Barcelona. Also Stefka Kostadinova in the left. She has a record that it's still on the top and no one can pass it for more than, I believe, 30 years. Also, I believe you don't need an explanation for Dilma Rousseff. She also has a Bulgarian origin. Also, she is actually Dilma Rousseva, but it's really hard for some people in the West to pronounce it. That's why it's Dilma Rousseff. Also, you can see Nina Dobrev, or in the middle you can see Viktor Krum for all the Potter hats, as well as in the middle. Right in the middle is Dan Koloff, one of the strongest men during the beginning of the last century, of the 20th century. He was a wrestler. And the last one is Jonathan Asov, who was the founder of the computer. A little bit more about the traditions. Let's start, let's say, with the food. On the bottom in the right you can see banica. Banica is really, really delicious. We used to have one incoming from Brazil, and she is obsessed with banica. I even sent her some dough, specific dough for her, so she can make some banica herself in Brazil. Also on the left, on the top, you can see the yogurt, another controversial thing, because Greeks tend to say that yogurt is a Greek yogurt. We tend to say it's Bulgarian yogurt. Yogurt, basically, it's a product of fermentation of the bacteria, which is called Bifidus bulgaricus. Bulgaria is really famous for its folklore and dances and musicians. Also, in the right, you can see it's a blossoming tree with a lot of bracelets or strings, which are with white and red. This is called martenica. It's a bracelet that we put on our hands on 1st of March. It resembles and supposed to give you help, but it resembles the upcoming spring. And when you see a stork, the bird, or a blossoming tree, you take it off and you put it on the tree. Other things which are related to the traditions are, for example, you can see the weather. We tend to believe that when you're going on a long journey, or when you're having an exam, if you throw water in front of the door, like opening the door and throw some water, this will bring you like a really smooth journey without any problems. Another thing which Bulgaria is famous from is the nestinarstvo. You can see a woman, she's basically walking on fire. This is something that has been like a centuries, going from generation to generation. It's really specific thing, and you can see it only in Bulgaria. And last but not least, it's the thing that every foreigner has a problem with. It's related to the way we say yes or no. Basically, it's famous to say no like that, like no and yes. But in Bulgaria, it could be yes and no. Just try to follow the movement of the head as well as the words. For example, da, which means yes, or no, or ne, which means no. So try to follow the head movement as well as the facial expression and the words. And now, after all of the specific things related to culture and traditions, it's time to talk a little bit about our NMO, which is Association of Medical Students in Bulgaria, or AMSB. We were founded like in 1990, or before 33 years. We do have 6 active LCs. Basically, if you go through IFMSA Exchange portal, you will see 7, but they are now 6. and there are Medical University of Sofia and Sofia University, situated in the capital of Bulgaria, Sofia, as well as Varna and Burgas, which are situated on the sea coast. And we do have Karina now here with us. She will represent Burgas a little bit later because they are our baby LC, the newest LC. Also, we do have Plovdiv and Pleven. Sophie?
Thank you for the introduction. I hope you get a general sense of what are our countries. I would like to present you our LCs in a quicker way. They're not much, as Tilana said, there are 6, and we've been Scopy active, I think, for the last 30 years, Scori active a little bit less. So basically, our 2 LCs are in the capital, Medical University of Sofia, where me and Stilana are currently studying, and the medical faculty of the Sofia University. I know it's kind of confusing, but they're 2 separate universities. So basically, Sofia is the capital. I am Sofia. There's a difference between the pronunciation. I know it's kind of confusing. Yeah. So basically, this is the capital. Well, these are one of the 2 most famous landmarks. You can see this is our National Theater on the left, and on the right, this is our Orthodox cathedral. We are not Catholic, we're Orthodox Christian. And yeah, basically that's it. The next LC that I would like to present you is Varna. It's called the sea capital of Bulgaria, basically because it's one of the biggest cities after Sofia. And as Stilana said, it's situated at the Black Sea. It's a very old city as well, and the university there is really modern. They have really good programs. And yeah, basically on the left is one of their cathedrals, and on the right is the seaside as well. The other, I think, the most probably the most interesting city in Bulgaria is called Plovdiv. It's called the city on the hills, and it's one of the oldest actually cities in the whole world. It's more than 4,000 years old. On the left, you can see this is an ancient Roman theater for when Plovdiv was part of the Roman Empire. And the city of on the hills is because the whole city is surrounded by 7 hills, and you can see the mountains. And it's very culturally different. There are a lot of different types of people living there: Bulgarians, Turks, Greek people, because Plovdiv was part of the Byzantine Empire and it's very close to the border of Greece. Yes, that's it. Next LC is Pleven. Pleven is a smaller city. It's north, and it's really close to Sofia. It's like an hour and a half by train. It's called the heart and the brain of this region because currently they opened 5 or 6 years ago. They opened up a new hospital, which is really massive, and it's gathering all the patients from this region, like a general hospital for this region. If you want something not so more calm and more nature-wise, I think this is the AOC for you. It's definitely a plus for people who don't like that much partying, don't like that much stress. And the hospital there is really, for the last 5-6 years, it's been really good. Yes, for Burgas, Karina is here and she's gonna tell you now or later.
Now, I believe.
I can start now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karina will tell you about her city, her LC Burgas, our newest.
Yeah, we're the babies of the association, and I'm very happy to present my city. I also, I am not the Leo, I am the Leo assistant. So yeah, he sent our Leo Stanislav actually sends his regards. He was supposed to present, but he was something popped up and he just couldn't make it, and he's very sorry. Okay, so I'm starting. So little information about the city. Burgas is the second largest city on the Black Sea coast, the first being Varna. And it's overall one of the largest cities in Bulgaria. Also, the region has a very rich, it's very rich in different kinds of, how should I say it? It has a lot to offer in nature and different kinds of settlement, because if it also has a very rich history, since it was created. I'm sorry, I just got a little anxiety speaking. Okay, so if I can start over. So the region, because it is very close to the sea, it has been inhabited for a very long time, and it also has a very rich history, which, if anyone is interested in, um, mm, they can. Oh my God!
Don't worry, you can check the history in the internet. Don't worry.
I'm sorry, I just got a little anxiety from speaking. So yeah, it has a very rich history, and we have a lot of museums which display it, a lot of ethnographical exponents. Our ethnographical museum is actually newly renovated, so yeah, you can see it there. It is a very attractive tourist destination, since it attracts a lot of tourists because of our summer resorts that are one of the most famous in the whole country, such as the ones in Nesebar, Pomorie,
Suzopo
Sunny
as
Beach.
well.
Sunny
Suzo-
Beach.
yeah, Sunny Beach, one of the the party centers of the country, and I lovingly also call it Little Vegas because it's literally like Vegas. So yeah, it is. Burgas is also the cultural center of the region, since it houses the Burgas Central Opera and the theater Adriana Budevska, and has a lot of art galleries which host different kinds of expositions all the time, literally. During summer, it gets very lively because there are a lot of concerts, ranging from classical to rock concerts, everything. You can see it here. And there are a lot of clubs if you like R&B music, rap music. Uh, Literally, there's a variety of clubs. You can never not find something that you do not like here. Yeah, you get what I mean. Um, So, what else? What else? There are smaller cities around Burgas, as I've mentioned, Pomorie, Nesebar, Suzopu. They're very. They also have their own history, which is even older than the one of Burgas, since those cities were actually ancient Roman settlements as well, even Greek. And yeah, their architecture is very unique. There is nowhere such architecture like in Suzopol or Nesebar. So that is very interesting as well. And yeah, pretty much this is about the city. Oh, I forgot to mention one of the jewels of the city, the Sea Garden. Our Sea Garden is very big. It has a lot of nature in it. There are different types of um, plants, of trees. You can literally feel like you're in a forest of its own. And there are many places where you can ride your bike. You can just go on a walk, and it's very close to the beach, which is why it's called the Sea Garden. And yeah, you can literally go on a stroll through the garden and then go to the beach and have a great time. Okay, so about the hospital, our hospital is the biggest in the southeastern region, and it's also an educational base for the students here. We have our classes here. This is where we practice and interact with patients. This is where doctors literally take us from the door and just show us around. They even let us assist in operations and such. One of the best things about this hospital is that there are a lot of residents who really want to show you and help you, since they know how hard it is in med school. and they just try to like give you as much as possible, especially if those residents are also your assistants. And our university is actually pretty old, but our faculty is fairly new. And because of that, we are still trying to integrate ourselves. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I would say that we're doing a pretty good job at it. And considering that our professors are trying to do their best to explain us stuff and to make us just feel that like they really want us to understand what they are teaching us, and I think that that's a very big plus for us. We have access to multiple laboratories on campus, since they were already there when the faculty was built. And our third year students from third year on, we start to go to the hospital where we have our I think they're called rotations in English.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much what I have going on. And I'm sorry for the stuttering. I get a little excited sometimes.
thank you very much, Karina, for the all information. Okay. So regarding the calendar, please guys, if you really want to come to Bulgaria, check the calendar in the exchange conditions, because there are some changes going on. For example, now let's say if you really want to come to Bulgaria in July or August, you can go basically in every LC. Every LC is active during this month. But regarding the other months, for example, February, March, April, May, the active LCs are those which are situated in the capital, so Medical University of Sofia as well as Sofia University. Pleven is also active during the months which are not like July and August. And regarding June, this is the only month that we don't have Skopje exchanges, because it's like an exam season and no one will take care of you the way we want to. Regarding the social program, each LC has its own local social program, but in July and in August, we do have national social programs. Both July and August, we do have national social programs in Sofia for sure. And in July, it could be Varna or Vagas, and in August could be the same. It depends, but each month we do have like a national social program to the seaside. Also, Plovdiv is the LC making, which is making a national social program, but it depends. Most of the time, it's during August. Now we are trying to think about like international social programs, for example, with Serbia or with Romania, but we are still in a process, so I cannot guarantee you anything at this point. And of course, there are a lot of things to see in Bulgaria, a lot of things which are related to our history. In Sofia or in Severnrila lakes, we do have an amazing nature, or to the seaside, or for example, on the left bottom, you can see I believe this is the old town of Plovdiv. Also, you can see Rila Monastery, which is on the top right corner, as well as ancient remainings in Neseber or in Hisaria, everywhere basically in Bulgaria. So if you really want to learn more about us, to see what we do related to academic quality or whatever it is, you can just scan this QR code, and it will lead you directly. It will lead you directly to our Instagram page, as well as if you want to see more about each LC, you can find the information exactly in this page. And if you have any questions, I think now it's the moment. Can I just scroll away, or just if you want, you can take your time just scanning the code.
Let me just add. Okay, now it's back on the page. Okay, so I do have some personal questions. First of all, I would like to thank you for your wonderful presentation, both Steliana, Sofia, and Karina. It was amazing. Like, I didn't know this much information about Bulgaria, but now I'm excited to visit and to get to know a little bit about your country. even about Burgas, because I did not know about the city, about Karina city, but it's amazing. Like I saw the pictures while she was presenting. I was like checking pictures from the city, and it's beautiful. So maybe I'll visit someday if I have more money after I graduate, of course, because for now I do not have any. But thank you so much for your presentation. I do have some questions on the chat, and I will do have some personal questions as well.
Okay.
So Caio asked if there is anything correlating to the Latin culture, because since you were part of the Roman Empire, such as like Portugal, Spain, and all the other countries, do you have any influence about the Roman culture and Latin culture, or no?
Like on daily basis, you mean?
Yeah, like on daily and historical basis as well.
No, I believe no,
No?
because it was a long time ago. The only thing that it's related to the Roman culture or Latin culture is more like the remainings, the landmarks. Me personally, I don't think that we do have something on daily basis related to this culture.
I understand. Like since it was like a long time ago, especially, so sometimes it becomes part of the history, but not necessarily part of the culture. I get it. So another
Sorry,
question.
can I add anything? For the Roman culture and the language, basically, Bulgarian is going to be very difficult for you because our alphabet, it's not a Latin alphabet, and it's very far from Portuguese, very far. But as part of like culture, I can say that it's like a weird mixture between Greek, because we are part of the Byzantine Empire, Turkish because of Ottoman Empire, and a part of like Slavic. It's a weird mixture, but mostly Slavic, but a lot of influence from Greece and Turkey, if you want to get a general sense of everything.
Yeah, I remember that during the March meeting, I heard like the AMSB delegation talking. I was like, oh God, I can get like even like a sound. It's so difficult. It's really difficult for us.
It's a difficult language for foreigners, yeah.
Yeah, it is, but it's a beautiful language. It's a really beautiful language. On a personal note, of course. Ana Paula asked if which university is the best for the surgical field.
For which? For the surgical?
For the surgical.
What type of surgery? It really depends.
Mm.
Because
think,
surgery is a big place.
Yeah. Usually the Brazilian students choose general surgery. So like emergency surgery.
It could be Sofia, like Medical University of Sofia. It could be Medical University of Plovdiv. Also in Pleven, they have a good surgical departments. But if you want something really, really specific, like let's say vascular surgery or I don't know, orthopedics, I believe they're all, or cardio surgery, they are more situated in the capital for sure.
I get it. It's a bit like Brazil. Like the capitals are the ones who concentrate the more advanced types of surgery. But another question that I have, like more on the personal side, about the nightlife. As you know, I'm a fan of the nightlife. Is the nightlife safe for women, for the LGBTQI plus community to walk alone at night, or do you think we should take some precautions?
Again, it depends. I can tell you something. For example, all the students which are situated in Medical University of Sofia, they are all in dormitory, which is in Student City. Basically, Student City has so many discos, so many bars, that it's like I used to live there. It's safe. Especially because it has a lot of lights. There are a lot of people too. I believe it's the same for the other cities, so it's fine. But if you really want to be like basically walking out of home and going to the club or disco, you should choose Medical University of Sofia because you will be situated there basically.
Yeah, and for the center of Sofia, as a woman, you can, I think, at night, usually in summer, it's okay to walk alone. And there are taxis, there are the metro sometimes runs really late, and they used to have a night transport, night buses, but now they got rid of it because of COVID, and hopefully they can restore it. Basically, yeah, it really depends on which neighborhoods you go around. So don't go around like some bad neighborhoods, let's just say. If you keep like to the city center, I think it's completely okay.
And when we talk about the seaside, like let's say Varna and Burgas in the summer, it's really crowded, it's full, and basically they are not sleeping, especially in Sunny Beach.
Yeah, I just wanted to say
yeah.
about Sunny Beach. It can be a little dangerous since there's a lot of stuff going on in Sunny Beach. So I definitely recommend taking some precautions, and just having just not to like let your guard down a lot. Sunny Beach, I call it Little Vegas because it literally is like Vegas. Like everything is happening, a lot is happening, and you just you can't let your guard down fully. Specifically for that. In Burgas, however, it is a lot more quieter. During summer or whenever, it's a lot more quieter, but you still have to just look around.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add, like about the nightlife?
Well, about the nightlife in Burgas specifically, there are a lot of karaoke bars. I forgot to mention, by the way. There's a karaoke bar. There are a lot of chalga bars, of course, since that is our music. And yeah, just if you don't like something, there's definitely some other place that will cater to your needs. And if you don't find anything in Burgas specifically, you can go around to the other little towns, and you'll probably find it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation for the Exchanges Fair. On the comments from the YouTube stream, I saw many people, because Brazil has one of the biggest communities, like from Potterhead communities. So like when you mention about Harry Potter, like many people showed up, because Brazilian people, including me, we are like fascinated by Harry Potter, like really much. And about Juma as well, I did not know that Juma had like a Bulgarian background, so that was amazing. Honestly, when I saw her picture, I was like, no, that's not possible. But thank you so much for participating in our Exchanges Fair. I hope we'll organize next year as well. So I hope to see you again. And I'm not going to the August meeting, but Sabrina is. So I will send something for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Bye and enjoy the rest of the exchange fair.
Thank you. Bye and see you soon.
Yeah, bye from me as well. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of the exchange fair.
Bye.
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 Então, agora nós vamos ter a apresentação da Grécia, da Nori da Grécia. Ela vai começar apresentando. Eu vou mandar o link da apresentação dela aqui no chat, que ela me pediu. Então, eu vou colocar ela aqui já na tela. Hey, Anna, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. So whenever you want to start, let me just present you first. Anna is Denori from Helsinki, Greece. She will be here presenting her exchange program in her country to everyone. So if you have any doubts, please send on the chat or send on Telegram. I will ask her on the end of the presentation. Anna, thank you for accepting my invitation. The ground is yours. Whenever you want to start, please do.
Okay, great. I will share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay, so we'll start with the general information about our country. Greece is a country in the Mediterranean Sea. It's in the Balkans, and it has like a really long history. Right now, we have 7 medical faculties, all of which are local committees of Helsinki. So we have 7 local committees that you can apply to for an exchange. Here you can see some pictures from our students, and now we'll go to our map. we will share this link with you so you can take your time and check its local committee whenever you want, or see more information in your own pace. So I will just say a few words for its local committee. The first one is Athens. Athens is the capital of Greece. So here, as you can see, is like Acropolis, which really is like the biggest monument of Greece. Everyone comes here to see it. It's really, really old, and it has a long history. Here in the QR code, you can see the explore pages of Athens if you want, so you can scan it now or later. Here are our local officers, both Loris and Leos, and some things about like the food in Greece. You can, in Athens, you can eat moussaka, pasticcio. Pasticcio is like, if you heard of like bechamel or pasta in Italy, it's kind of the same thing. It has like meat and pasta and cheese and the cream. It's really nice. Dolmadaya, it's like rice wrapped within a leaf. It's very traditional, I think, in all countries like nearby. They also have it, for example, in Egypt. And Athens has the biggest number of theatrical stages in the world. So you can go like also watch a theater if you want. The university in Athens is called National and Capodistrict University, and it was established in 1835, so it's quite old. And from last year, from this year actually, we also have like a medical degree in English. So we also have like English-speaking students there. Like, it's the oldest capital in Europe, and it's the birthplace of democracy and philosophy, and it's the largest passenger port in Europe. So like, if you imagine like the ancient times, it was like a really big port that connected Asia with other places in Europe, and everyone went through Athens to do to like exchange food and stuff like this. Our second local committee is Patras. Again, here you can see like the university and the city. As you can see here, it has a castle, and it's very, very close to the sea. So you can, of course, go there. And there's also a port to go to smaller islands nearby. Again, here are the local officers. And some things that you can eat is like raisins or things made from roses, and also lucumia. It's like a sweet, like a jelly, some sort of jelly with sugar. And also in Greece we have the carnival. It's called Carnivali in February, and it's one of the largest and craziest things that happens in whole Europe. It has like parades, a lot of people dressing up, and actually it has its roots back in ancient Greek, because also like ancient Greeks were like dressing up on some occasions and going out as like other people or other creatures. Patras is in northern Peloponnese, and it's the third largest city of Greece. And for the university, the medical school was established in 1977, so it's quite new. And also it's very known because it had like an evaluation of its program from an external partner. And until then, we were like evaluating the assurance on our own. So they went to another external partner to see like if the curriculum is correct, what can they do to improve it. So it was like something very important. Then we will go to Heraklion. As you can see, it's in an island. This island is Crete. Sorry. Again, here you can scan for the explore pages of Heraklion. Here are our local officers, and this here is our neo-elect, Thomais. About the food, there are a lot of traditional foods there, like cheese and everything, many things from olive oils, which is very well known for maintaining good health and preventing illness. And something very known there is Ramos Pilafo. With Ramos is a wedding in Greece, and Pilaf is like rice. So it's like traditionally offered in Cretan weddings. Some facts about the university. The whole university was established in 1973. And it's very known for its research and it's very widely known of its contribution in the field. It has like high academic staff as well as students. And about Crete, is the fourth largest. The Heraklion is the fourth largest city in Greece, and Crete is the biggest island we have. And now we can continue with Larissa. Again, here is the university, and here is the city. Here are our local officers. It's a small university, so the local committee is smaller itself. They have like a candy, which is called halva. And they also are widely known for the feta cheese. I don't know if you've heard it. It's a really popular cheese here in Greece. It's like white, and you should really try it if you come here. But they also have like drinks such as tsipuro, which kind of reminds rakia, if you have heard it. About the university, it was like the newest university we have. And the medical faculty started accepting students in 1990. And it also has a School of Health Sciences that has been autonomous, like a separate part of the university since 1995. Then Ioannina. Ioannina is the city I'm studying at. Here, this is not a sea, it's a lake. So Ioannina has a lake, and also it has nearby a river. So we are going rafting with the incoming students. Here are our local officers. So Ioannina is well known for its desserts, and it has widely known baklava because it was part of the Turkish Empire, the Ottoman Empire, for a very long time. So we also have those kind of sweets that are also known in Turkey. The university, the Faculty of Medicine, was established in 1995, and the whole university now has more than 25 students. So imagine, like, in a very small city, that many students. It has wild, like, nightlife, and there are a lot of people going there in the morning. Everyone is always around. About Ioannina, or how we call it, like, for like orally, Yanina. It's a really nice city in northwestern Greece, and it's known for its traditions. It has a castle, and it is the capital or the city of the region Epirus. Here, like, the purple one is the whole region. And then we'll go to Thessaloniki. Thessaloniki, once upon a time, was the capital of Greece, and now it's like the second biggest city after Athens. Here are local officers. You can eat their bougatsa, which is like creamy pie. It's my favorite thing, really. And you can also eat like koulouri Thessalonikis, which is like a bread with sesame. And we might eat it like for breakfast if you don't want something sweet. It's very common there. The university is like one of the oldest ones. It was established, it was founded in 1925, and it has a medical faculty from 1942. And in 2021, we had also there an English department. This university was named after the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. You might have heard of him because he was born in this city. As I told you, Thessaloniki is the second largest city in Greece, and it's in the northwestern corner of the Aegean Sea. It has like a very vivid nightlife, and it's also like kind of the center is kind of small, so everything is close. It's like almost a walking distance everywhere, and there are also many students there, so there's a lot of life. And there is also like the Thessaloniki International Forum there and International Film Festival. I think it's being done around May. And last but not least, Alexandroupoli. Alexandroupoli is our smallest local community because itself as a city, it's very small. If you want something quieter, this is the city for you. It's mostly like a family city. And everyone is very bonded together and very close. Here are our local officers. Like Alexandroupolis is famous for its Farouk pastry. It's like a croissant with syrup, chocolate, and chocolate glaze. And of course, it's very close to the sea. So the heart of the city, it's full. Everyone is going to the sea. There are sidewalks, many tourists, and there are also like close to the sea traditional tavernas, which are like some sort of restaurants. The Faculty of Medicine was also founded in 1975, such as the University of Ioannina. And about the city, it was named after King Alexander the Great, and it began to grow like in the recent years, especially after the setting of the railroad, which connects Thessaloniki with Istanbul. As you can see in the map here, it's super close to Turkey. Like here is the borders. So you can even go like with a bus or with a car to Turkey, maybe for a 1 day or 2 days trip. These are our local committees. And if you don't know which one to choose or which one is the best fit for you, we have this quiz here. So you can scan the QR code and see like maybe which LC would be most suitable for you. Of course, other than, actually, I will leave it for a bit. Other than the local officers, the whole local committee is working for the exchange program. If you imagine, we have like a specific organizing committee, which is called exchanges team. So it consists of 5 people that are responsible for every aspect of your exchange, accommodation, what we will eat, your contact persons, so they will kind of guide them and show them how they can communicate with you. There's a team that especially for the local social program, so we can make sure that you will see local attractions and you will be able to do actually things there. And we have like around 15 projects right now for research exchanges, and a lot of available clinics for professional exchanges. So it's very common to get you in your first choice in the professional exchanges in terms of clinic. We accept students for, all months apart from December and April, and this is because at this time is our vacation. So we are not there in our cities, and we don't want you being there alone and not having someone there to help you. But apart from this, we accept all months. Most students, come in July, but there are also a lot of students in August and in September. So for the education of the students, we don't want them just to come here. And of course, it's very important to have fun, but there's also like the academic aspect of the program. So first of all, we're trying to place you in something that you want, that you are passionate about. Either it's a research project or it's a clinic. And for you to be more ready from next term, we are preparing to do a pre-arrival training, so an online training for all our outgoings for the summer months, so they can get to know their local communities, but also feel more safe for their trip here, feel more prepared, ask their questions. And of course, we have an upon arrival training on the first week of the exchange. So the local officers, the contact person, everyone comes together, and we're talking about like the specific needs of the city. How can you move around? What will you need? What bus can you take? And everything. These are also written in our welcome email and survival guide that we send to the students. But we say them orally in the first days of the exchange, and we're trying to get to know each other in the upon arrival training, so we can create a safe space for all our incoming students. Regarding the month, like we do it every single month, even if we have 1 or 2 incomings, we always do the upon arrival training to create this safe space. Other than this, we have like, of course, contact person for all our incomings, and we also have host students. So the accommodation might be in host students or host families. It can also be student flats, in dormitories, or in hostels. As I told you, we have local guides for the incomings that have the food, like how can you move around. They also have some Greek words that you might need to use, like hello, yes, no, some basic things just to make sure that you can communicate here. But most people in Greece know English, even the basics, so it's really easy to communicate with almost everyone. We also conduct educational activities. These are like some short sessions, like trainings or workshop with the incoming students. It could be anything. It could be based in research. It could be based in global health, or in other standing committees. Like it could be like bioethics with standing committee on peace. It could be for with SCORA about like the gender and things like that. It's based on the trainers of its local committee and what the students actually want to get educated on, because their opinion is very important, of course. And we also have an outcome presentation at the end of the month. So it's like a scientific outcome. So if you're doing a research exchange, you can do a poster or something like that. And if you're doing a professional exchange, you can present like one of your patients. This is to make sure that you get highly educated in your exchange, but also like encourage you to try to see this aspect of your exchange. As I told you, for the social program, we have the local social program that is like a calendar, a full calendar that is being made by the local committee, the CPs, and specifically the exchanges team. This includes, of course, a lot of activities like rafting if you're in Ioannina, or going to the beach if you're in Crete, Patras, or Alexandroupolis, or seeing monuments nearby, Of course, we're doing a national drinks and foods party, which is like a fair where all incomings make something from their country, or maybe they have brought it already from their country. And this is very nice because we get to know each other's cultures, and this brings us closer. We might also do some excursions to close destinations, like if there's an island close by or someone else, we can go for the weekend, of course. So we are organizing all these things. And of course, we also get input from the incoming students. Other than the local social program, though, we also have a national social program. It's the first year that we're conducting national social program after the pandemic. So there will be one trip in July, one in August, and one in September. For July and August, it will definitely be in the island of Syros. You can see it here in the picture as well. And in the map, Syros is this island here, the small island. We will have around 50 participants, and we will also have contact persons there and hosts and people from Helmsick to make sure that someone is there to guide you if you need anything. So we're really glad that we brought this again, and we will have a national social program because it's very important for the students to get to know each other, see students from other cities, and of course have just a fun trip in a very nice destination, because the Greek islands are really widely known for the summer, and just going there, visiting them for their beaches, for the food there, it's a whole other atmosphere. And lastly, the academical aspect of the exchange. If you're doing a research exchange, maybe the tutor will ask you to do a publication with them. This is quite common, actually. So the tutors really want to include the students in everything they do. Like if you're in the surgery, they ask you to come and see, and they're trying to educate you as much as they can. And if you're doing a research project, they might ask you to do a publication or present with them somewhere. So everyone is really just trying to include the students in their activities. This is about it. So we can move to the questions.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Anna. It was amazing. Like, I love to get to know a little bit more about your country. On a personal note, I must say that Greece is one of the most sought countries to do an exchange here in Brazil. So congratulations on your program. I do have some questions. If you were an exchange student going to Greece, which month would you go? Like, which is the best?
Okay, that's a good question. Like, personally, I would like to go for the national social program, so I would probably choose July, August, or September. But if you want like to get closer to the local community and the people there, and actually live the experience of being in this country, I would come in another month, because you actually see how the university goes, how people live their everyday life there. You're part of the community, basically. But in the summer months, everyone goes on vacation. It's like a totally different vibe. So it's not like basic Greece. So if you want to get to know the country and how people are here, how they live here, I would suggest coming maybe in November or October, because it's the beginning of the year. So we don't have much classes. We have a lot of free time. And also March is one of those months, because it's after the exam period. We have a lot of time to show you around and do trips with you and everything. But at the same time, we are going to the university. We are there in our cities. Everyone is there. No one is like doing vacation or something like that. So it's really easier to see how we are actually living there. And
Yeah, okay. Then it's on a mental note now. It's like October, November, and March. Okay, perfect. I had a question on the chat asking about if there is any cafeterias and restaurants where students usually go more often near universities and hospitals in the instance.
Yeah. We have like near the universities, we have like a lot of cafeterias in the big cities, like in Thessaloniki, in Athens, and actually, yeah, in other cities, the universities are a bit out of the city because the cities are very small. But there are student cafeterias, and there are also cafeterias where you can go and study, and these are all in the center, which you're mostly going to stay there. So in most cities you stay in the center and you take the bus to the university, so you will have access to these cafeterias and you can go there with the students.
I get it. And how does your social program work? Like, not the national one, like the LC. Each LC organizes its own? Is there a standard version?
There's a standard that you have to do like at least one activity per week, like a dinner or going to the beach or anything. But mostly we have like a whole calendar with like 3 to 4 or 5 things per week. So almost every day you're going to do something. It might be like a movie, so just doing something for fun to get to know each other, going out for drinks, or going to a restaurant, going to the beach, going rafting if there's a river nearby. In Ioannina, we have a river, so we're taking our students there. Or go to an island close by if it's a weekend. So there are a lot of different things, and we're trying to include, as I said, students to our everyday life. But like if we're going out, like on Tuesdays, we take the outgoings with us. And we also trying to have like activities for all backgrounds, because someone might not be able going out at night. They might not feel like comfortable going out for drinks. We have to do something for the incomings as well. We have to respect everyone's boundaries. So we have like pottery or painting, or the movies that are more chill, so everyone can enjoy.
I get it. That's amazing. That's amazing that you include everyone in your program. Two more questions. One from the Neo-In elect from FMSA Morocco. So she watched the whole presentation as well. What about the SCORI calendars? If you have any spots for September, October, and November for the SCORI?
Okay, we accept both SCORI and SCOPI students in all months, as I said, apart from December and April. But for this term, we still have spots for November and October, if I remember correctly, in SCORI.
Perfect. Another one, it's also about SCORI. Which college or LC stands out for the neurology research?
Okay, this is an amazing question because they had like an event about neurology, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago. It's the University of Heraklion, Crete. But in University of Larissa, they're doing a lot of neurosurgery, and they have actually research projects there. So I would say these two local committees. And it's actually very funny, specifically for neurology, because both things, like I heard them like in the past 2 weeks. So it's really accurate.
Yeah, a really good coincidence. Thank you so much for your presentation, Anna. It was amazing. I love to get to know a little bit more about your country and your NMO as a general. Brazil and Greece have an amazing relation, and I plan to keep on this good relation. Thank you so much for your presentation and for accepting the invitation.
Thank you for having me
Have
here.
a good weekend. Goodbye.
You too. Bye.
Agora nós vamos ter a apresentação do Marrocos com a Rayane e com a Med. Just a second. Hello, Rayane. Hello, Ahmed. How are you guys doing? Rayane is the new elect from FMC Morocco, and Ahmed is also new elect from FMC Morocco. It's a great pleasure to have you two here. Please go ahead. The ground is all yours. We love to get to know a little bit more about your country. On Exchanges Fair and on GAs, General Assemblies, you guys always rock. So I really look forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Andre. We're happy to be part of this event and actually be able to exchange our programs with you too. I am the neo-elect of IFMC Morocco, and Ahmed Amin is also the neo-out elect of IFMC Morocco. Go ahead, Ahmed Amin, if you want to present yourself first.
Okay, I was having trouble unmuting, sorry. Hi everyone, I'm Ahmed Amin, the neo-out elect of IFMC Morocco. We're both second year mid students, and it is our pleasure to present our exchanges to you guys. Alright, so I'll share my screen.
Yes, please.
Let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we can.
Yes, it's you.
Thank
Alright,
you.
so I'll start with a general presentation of the country, the cities, etc., the LCs. So Morocco is a North African country. It is bordered by two seas. We have the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. So there's a lot of diversity when it comes to that. We have 6 LCs spread across the country. And this is actually an interesting point about the presentation because each one of them is different in some sort than the other. So if somebody is mainly interested in knowing about the Moroccan culture and diving deep into that aspect, we usually recommend them to put Fes as their first choice. If they're really interested, for example, in the social program and the nightlife, Marrakesh is usually a good go. If they want to know, if they want to find out the best about the country and how, like, every single aspect of it, like social program, they want to have also, like, they want to check out other surroundings. Rabat is usually the go-to, the capital. It's Rabat. And then there's Casablanca, which is the economic capital of the country. So usually this is the LC that I'm most biased towards. Well, I'm from there, so that's kind of self-explanatory. Agadir has the best beaches, so if anybody is all about surfing and that, we usually recommend this. And then there's Wujda, who's very close to a lot of different eastern places in Morocco that you won't find anywhere else. These are our prominent LCs, 6 of them. If anybody has any questions about the details later, I will be glad to go in more detail. We have 8 universities
I
in
think
these
I will
LCs.
just. Yes, I mean, I would like just to add, yeah, we can talk about that later, maybe in the social program. No worries, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was just saying about, I was going into more details about the universities that there are. There's 8 different universities spread out across these LCs. Um, Research projects, there's 18 of them. You're going to find out when you apply, for example, to a Scori exchange in the database. There is a wide variety you can choose from. 2 from basic science, 3 for clinical research with laboratory work, and 12 clinical research without laboratory work, and 1 gap projects. And we're working on activating right now our PHX exchanges and gap exchanges throughout across all LCs. So the domains that we have are 9 different medical domains for Scopy exchanges, and we have about more than 200 Scopy exchanges per year, more than 60 Scopy exchanges per year. When it comes to the generals, I think this is it. I think I covered everything. But if there's anything you would like to find out, please ask more questions. Now, Ryan, if you want to take over for the social program and logistics.
Thank you, Amin. Can you zoom in a bit so that I can talk about every one of it? Yes, thank you. So, for our social program, first of all, I'd like to kind of categorize our year to 2 parts. So, the first one is when we have maybe less incomings, and it's as Greece, for example, it's during September, October, November. Um, February, March, and April. Uh, and those are the times where you're gonna find the Moroccan culture at its peak and with the most accurate vibes. In June, July, and August, it's more of touristic vibes. You're gonna go and find less Moroccans maybe and more tourists in our cities. So this is the first point. Then in the months of September and September, October, November, etc. You're gonna be with the actual students at the hospital, and here I'm talking about Skopje exchanges. So you're gonna actually meet the students in their departments, and we have like all of the departments that we have, especially in Fez and Rabat, are similar or the same as the Moroccan students. We actually encourage that because we want them to be more supported. It's easier when there are students who can speak maybe more fluently and easily with the incomings. So for July and August, there are no Moroccan students at the hospitals because like the year is done by June. But of course there are the tutors, there are residents, so like actual doctors in the departments. That could help, of course. This is more of academic quality. I'm gonna go back to the social program. So we have the national social program with different destinations. For this year, it's gonna be Chefchaouen and Tangier. Last year it was only Chefchaouen, and this year is gonna be a bit different. There is also Essaouira, which is a city next to Marrakesh, so in the south of Morocco. It's a very beautiful city as well. So beautiful beaches, vibes, and with camels and the beach horse ride and surfing, everything that goes with it. Then Merzouga, which is a kind of oasis in Morocco, with the camels as well, and the vibes of Moroccan Sahara. For the local social programs, each LC programs its own social program, and it's usually discussed with the incomings. They choose what they want to do, of course, like maybe a day before or maybe some days before for the reservation and everything. We have parties, the welcoming and goodbye party, so it's usually during the first week, of course. The henna is a Moroccan tattoo, let's say, and it's also very known as a party since like all of the people there just start drawing on their hands. It's usually done on the hands. LC tours and sightseeing. So I'd like to go back maybe to the LCs, so that I'd tell them more about what there is for the social programs. Yes. So Fez is known for its old Medina. The old Medina of Medina in Arabic, in English, means city. So the old city of Fez is where all the historic, or most of the historic city spots actually are located. There is Qarawiyyin, there is a lot of schools, and actually the oldest university to ever exist was created in Fez, so it was in Fez. Then of course there is, as I said before, the old Medina, which is the most maybe exciting parts about Fez. The old Medina, though, exists in every other city, but the best one is in Fez. Then Agadir, as Amin said, it's known for its beaches. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful city with a diverse social program, but the beaches are the highlights of it. Casablanca is known for its downtown life, so it's very busy. It's you can find different activities, maybe games and everything. There are a lot of nightclubs as well, so everything could be found in Casablanca. Ahmed Amin, I'm giving you some highlights at this moment. I'm from Fez, by the way. Oujda has also a great exchange team that will really show you all of the nice places there. It's also close to a city, like a beach city known here in Morocco, which is Serdia, and it's the best beach in Morocco. Then Marrakesh, the famous Marrakesh, known for its touristic interest, maybe for the incomings. You can find different like all of starting from le Jardin Majorel. So like there are so many, I can't tell all of them now, but it's really interesting. Then Rabat is more of the, formal city, the beautiful city of Morocco. It's so put together and well organized. It's the well organized version of Casablanca. So I'll go back to the social program, please, Emmy. So moving to beach days and outdoor activities, so I just talked about that. Dancing classes and crafting workshops, pottery, maybe crochet, maybe, like anything. Also drawing and cooking sessions. And there is the karaoke, which exists in every city of Morocco, and it's a fun routine activity that we do here. One very interesting criteria that we have, or advantage we have in Morocco, is the one free trip. It's a national social program organized between two cities each year. So, for example, this year, where Fes is gonna go with Oujda, Casablanca is going with Rabat, and Marrakesh is going with Agadir. And each weekend, these two cities are going to head to one of the destinations that we have there. So either Swera, Chefchaouen, or Merzouga. For this year, as I said, it's going to be Chefchaouen and Tangier, which is a city next to Chefchaouen. And so this trip is totally free for our incomings. It's offered by IFMC Morocco as part of the social program. Moving on to the logistics. So we have lodging. For the lodging, we have private dorms, we have students' flats, host and family. For July and August, it's usually some private dorms, or sometimes students' flats as well. Since we have that very close to the hospital and the faculty as well for the SCORE incomings, so it's really easy for them to access their departments. It's only for Fez, for example, it's 10 minutes away. For Rabat, so we try to not be further than 5 kilometers from and to the faculty. Then we have Houston. This is actually more available in September, October, November, and the other year months, since it's when students are actually available in the cities, so they're not on vacation or anything. They're at the city, so they can host actual incomings. And there's also family hosting sometimes, but it's less frequent. We try to assure a pickup and drop off and it's usually ensured by the CPs. We contact the incomings way before, like a month. For this year, it was 2 months before, to know their tickets and their arrival time and departure time, to help them with that. And of course, we give pocket money of 700 dirhams to the incomings, or the boarding by the hosting family. So we talk about this. We talk about the two options with the incoming and with the hosting family, to see which works best. Let's go to the academic qualities.
Before doing that, Ryan, I'm just going to add 2 small points. First of all, when it comes to the boarding, the 700 dirhams that is given is usually enough for 1 meal per day. That is that standard. But if the student is hosted in a hosted family, they will usually benefit from more than that, just out of pure kindness of Moroccan people. This is how we are. We are very welcoming. We are very accommodating. This is something that you will experience, no doubt. I want to add something in regards to the social program, just when it comes to organization. to make sure that the local social programs have somewhat of a uniformity. In the Leo Lori weekend that is done beforehand, way before the summer season, each LC prepares a schedule, a daily schedule of everything that will happen. So like Monday there will be this, Tuesday there will be this. Like it covers the whole month for the hot season, and it is presented in the Leo Lori weekend by the local teams to the national team, and they go all over that and like suggest ideas, add things, remove things, etc. So that we make sure the incomings get a universal experience all over Morocco. That it's something that is this is something that we care about. So yeah, these are the 2 points I wanted to add. We're going to move
Thank
on
you.
to
Thank you, Amin. Maybe we could share with them the actual one that we made. I still have it. We can share it to show them a bit about how we do it.
okay.
So maybe you could just stop sharing your screen so that I can share mine.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So share screen. Can you see what I'm sharing? Can you see what I'm sharing?
Now yes.
Okay, thank you. So we have here saying this was made for July 2022, but like it still applies for this year. We have the arrival on the 1st. We usually try to have a special Moroccan dinner / welcoming party to get the incoming to know each other and interact with each other, and break the ice. Then here we have this is for the LC of Rabat. So they were going to discover Fez on the first weekend, on Saturday and Sunday. The first Monday is the first day at the hospital. So like we have the CPs who go with the incomings to check that everything is all right and help them find the department and actually remember where their department is, because we have a special hospital division kind of, and each hospital has specific divisions and departments. On the first day at the hospital, so in the afternoon, we usually do upon arrival training, as it has to be done within the first week. So it's usually done on the first day, on Monday, so that if they have any questions, we can answer them. On Tuesday, it's academic quality. So it's an educational activity that was done, which is academic quality, how to write a scientific article. So when it comes to academic quality, we're going to talk about it a bit later after this. We try to involve as many aspects as possible and in as many subjects as possible. So this was how to write a scientific article, so it worked for Skopje and Skori incomings. On Wednesday, they visited the Medina. So as I said, there is an old Medina in each LC of Morocco, and each one of them is so beautiful and so enriching when it comes to Moroccan history. On the 7th, we did an NFDP, so National Food and Drink Party, where each incoming brings or makes maybe their food. Why do we do it on the first week? Because we think that the incomings might have brought their food, their national food with them. So maybe it's something that shouldn't wait for more than 7 days. Then on the second weekend, it was a trip to discover Casablanca and then Tangier. So we have a very fast train that goes from Casablanca and to Tangier in less than an hour. So it was very feasible here. And on Sunday, it was Eid al-Adha, so it's a religious holiday. It won't happen this year and probably not in the next years, but it's a free day, especially for us Moroccans. We have to celebrate it with our own families, so we leave that as a free day for incomings, of course, with our help if they need anything. Then on the Monday, here we have a social program that was like they went to the paintball and did some karting. We have paintball in Fez. There is karting in Marrakesh, Rabat, Casablanca, and Agadir. On Tuesday, it was tuberculosis. So here we have an educational activity about tuberculosis. This is a very interesting pathology that we have in Morocco. It's very endemic. So this is a very important one, and we try to do it each year and each month with the incomings because it's really interesting and isn't so frequent in other countries. So here they had a little visit to Shella, which is a place it's really nice for sightseeing in Rabat, and Marina by night. This Marina are a series of beaches or in Morocco, and so in each coastal city in Morocco there is a marina. Then here again another educational activity about EKJ, and they did a trip to Marrakesh on the last weekend. On Monday, by the way, here we try, and just to add a little point when it comes to the social programs, the trips. Apart from the national social program, which is totally free, we try to make the prices as low as possible and as good as possible for the incomings to try and balance it out. On Monday, they did again an escape room game. On the 19th, they did an epilepsy in pediatrics, so an educational activity. Here, they visited the Hassan Tower, which is a it's really known place in Rabat. On here, they did again another educational activity, and on the last weekend, not the last, but the fourth weekend, it was the national trip, the national social program, which was to Sharm. Then again, we have bowling, ice skating, and here again, another educational activity. And finally, the goodbye party, which is usually like in the last days. We try to do it on either Wednesday or Thursday to leave to give the incomings the opportunity to maybe visit more cities in the last weekend. So we have the goodbye trip here to Merzouga, as I said, the Moroccan Sahara, which is Merzouga. So that's it for the social program when it comes to Morocco. And I guess now we're gonna move to the academic quality, the details of academic quality. Could you share your screen again, Ahmed Amin?
Can you see it? Wait. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So, for the academic quality, first of all, we have to prepare. Like in Morocco, we have trained trainers actually who will do the Pratt and TNRT during the Moro camp. The Moro camp usually takes place during March. And then, and by the way, you're welcome to come and actually participate in it. The Leo Lori weekend is when the Leo ins, Leo outs, and Loris meet. Have a meeting during the weekend to discuss all of the social program, the academic quality side of the exchanges, how many incomings might come, if the lodging is all available, if if the academic quality is actually ensured for the incomings. Then we train our CPs, our contact persons. We require that they are fluent in English and interculturally competent and actually available, so that if their incomings need anything, they will be there to help them, maybe pick them up, maybe help them if they need any directions or anything. They are there for that. And we try to recruit as many English speaking tutors as possible. And if the tutor is not fluent in English, we actually look for residents to help accompany the incoming. As I said earlier, during September, October, and November, it's fine since we have students who come who have their clerkship in the departments, so it's easier for them. Then the income distribution, we sort that through the motivation and backgrounds. So and of course the choices of the incomings, we try to balance everything out for the best, to find the best option. For the outgoing selection, I will let Ahmed Amin maybe talk about it a bit.
Okay, well, I'm just going to skim through it quickly because it's not really the focus area of this fair. Basically, language proficiency and background in research and public health is something we take very seriously here. So, like, we don't really send whoever applies. Like, we have a system based, we have a scoring system that helps us determine how proficient they are in these areas, so that we can make sure they have the best representativity and they don't give the NMO that they go in much trouble. Of course, being working in IFMSA Morocco exchanges, for example, supporting the incomings, participating in the social program, and all of that, it greatly boosts one of our outgoings like chances to land the NMO that they want to go to when it comes to this election, because we think it's fair, so that the most people, the people who are most motivated to participate on an exchange are the ones who contribute the most to the exchange program. It's a fair system, and it comes back at the end to help our incomings to make sure they have the best experience. uh, Also, when it comes to trainings and capacity building, I just want to mention that very quickly. The Leo Lori weekend that Ryan mentioned is all about capacitating the Leos and making sure that they're up to date with everything that they need to know. And of course, to give them the best, like for example, manuals, and to make sure that they transmit that to their CPs so they can train them, so they can so they can enhance the spark in them and make sure that they give the best experience to the incomings. Obviously, we have pre-exchange trainings and pre-departure trainings for our outgoings, but again, as I said, not really the focus area here. One more thing that I'd like to add is that the upon arrival training and the educational activities, as you noticed in that little board that we presented, uh, the upon arrival training is done in the beginning, and the educational activities, there's usually at least one per week, and we try to collaborate with other standing committees. For example, a collaboration with SCOF on tuberculosis to present it very well to our incomings to make sure that they're aware of the endemic disease in Morocco. A collaboration with, for example, SCORA about a workshop that is relevant to SRHR in Morocco, things like that. You will notice these kinds of things present once you come to an exchange in Morocco. And of course, outcomes, every single outcome incoming is, well, encouraged to prepare an outcome and present it, which basically helps us assess the quality of the exchange and how it was for them. Basically, I think that's everything we wanted to cover, and we're free to answer your questions now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presentation, guys. It was amazing. I love to get to know a little bit more about your country and your LCs. I do have some questions here. Everyone complimented your calendar because it's like really well organized. Everything it fits so perfectly. So congratulations on your calendar. Another question that we have is about the educational activities. Are the educational activities made by the students from the LC or by a resident, a tutor, or someone specialized in the area?
Actually, the educational activities are almost never done by students. We look and contact the tutors, the professors, the residents, and we go, like, our first targets are the professors. And we try to cover, as I said, as many subjects as possible. Maybe we could, sometimes we contact, for example, the professor or the head of the department himself. So that's, for example, if you have an incoming in urology, we will try and do an educational activity about some pathology, for example, in urology, and another incoming, for example, in general surgery, and we'll try to do maybe a suture and workshop in that department.
I get it. It's great, actually. Another question that I have is about tuberculosis. I really did not know about that in Morocco it's also endemic. Here in Brazil, tuberculosis is also endemic. I don't know if you guys knew it, but tuberculosis is like a really big thing here in Brazil. Like we have many research about that. Do you guys have any SCORY projects regarding tuberculosis, or only the fixed project that I mentioned, the SCOF collaboration?
For now, for this summer season, there isn't projects about tuberculosis, but of course, and with SCOF, we are looking. This is a major aspect or a major target in our country. So there are also always projects when it comes to tuberculosis. We just have to contact the tutor so that we can activate the projects. Unfortunately, the NORI isn't with us, but as I said, this is one of the most recurrent projects that we have, and this can go from educational activities to research projects on which they actually could publish some article.
I get it. That's amazing.
And by the way, I'm sorry. By the way, we have we require in the card of documents tuberculosis tests in order for the incomings to join Morocco. So
That's amazing. Since you mentioned about the tuberculosis test, what exactly do you require? Is it the PPD or which test? Because like the PPD in Brazil, we just ran out of PPD because like we do it too much. We don't have it for the general population anymore. Not even like paying, we don't have the PPD. So do you accept like chest X-ray, the PRM, test?
This is something we usually try to sort out with the incoming himself. So we try to see if maybe in his country there aren't any tuberculosis tests available. Then we can maybe move to another option, or we could also maybe consider that they do the tuberculosis test until they come to Morocco and try to handle the situation some way or another.
Okay. Thank you so much, Hayani. Thank you so much, Ahmed. It was amazing to have you here. Thanks for accepting.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you soon. I'm not going to the Ops meeting, but maybe we'll see each other.
Hopefully,
yes.
Take care.
Bye, Andre.
Bye. Agora a gente vai ter a apresentação da França. Depois da França vai ser Portugal. E daí a gente acaba o evento. Eu vou mandar o formulário de presença logo depois que Portugal começar. Assim, lá pelo meio da apresentação de Portugal eu mando o formulário de presença. Vou começar aqui a da França. Bonjour, Morgane. Comment ça va? Sorry for my terrible French. Dear, the mic is off.
Sorry, I would think that your French is lovely. No worries. I'm really glad you speak it. Okay, so really sorry about like the surrounding. Like I'm in the middle of a national board meeting and it's a bit hectic. But anyway, so I'm going to present you. Tell me if you see my screen correctly.
Not yet.
Here, do you see it?
No, not yet.
Crap. So here, maybe it is.
Yeah, now it is.
It works?
It works.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm really glad to be here today. So I will just like shortly present myself. So my name is Morgane. I'm from France. To be precise, I'm from the northwest of France, and I'm like a third year. I'm a third year medical student. So, and I'm also neo-in, like, which is why I'm here. So I'm going to present you, and I'm France, and its exchanges.
So first, I'd like to say that we signed 550 contracts around approximately. So it means that we have a lot of partners, and that whereas I've heard that it's difficult to get a contract with France, it's not. Like, depending on what you need, we will do our best to satisfy your wishes. And so it's really easy to apply, and you don't need to speak French to apply to come to visit us. So, and we will be really glad to welcome you. We will welcome you all year round, so no month forbidden. Just know that we are in a calendar month. So it means that your placement has to start in a Monday and end in a Friday. And this Monday has to be like the first of the month. If you need like to move a bit like dates, it's fine. Your NEO just needs to email me and we will deal with it. Just remember that we can't do this between December and January. Like, if you want to go to come from mid-December to mid-January, it's not going to be possible because of Christmas. Unfortunately, like, hospitals are a bit like messy at this period, and it wouldn't be really interesting for you to come. So yes. Whereas Anna from Greece, I won't be able to present every of my LC because I have 24 Skopje active LCs, 5 Skori active LCs, and also 1 PH exchange active LC, which is Toulouse. So in the northwest, absolutely not, in the southwest, over there. So I will let you just like see everything by your own. A lot of our LCs have like Instagram accounts, so you will see what they do with their incomings, their outgoings, all the activities that they plan, everything. Really, like, just look for it in Instagram. This is really like gold. Anyways, so as said, you don't need to speak French to come in France, and we are really, really open to exchanges. So what our exchange condition says about language is that, like, if you have B2 French or higher, you don't need any English certificate, and every LC is open for you. If you don't speak French, you need to speak English at a B2 level, and you only have like some LCs available, which are like the one written here, so Angers, Besançon, Bobigny, Caen, Clermont, Créteil, Dijon, etc. Don't think that it's because they are open for English speaker that they're bad. This is absolutely not the case, luckily. It's just that they're more open and more prone to teach you in a language that is not like ours. But they have like the same quality as any other. And actually, like, one of our best LC, which is Nancy, is open for English speakers. So you see, it's not like an indicator of quality at all. Just be really careful about this, because like, if you don't apply correctly regarding language and that we place you somewhere and they detect that you don't speak French, if it was mandatory, they will maybe like cancel the clerkship, and nobody wants that. So be really careful about that. Like, language is a great thing in our exchange conditions, and you need to respect that to like follow up all the applying process. We only welcome clinical students, so it means that from the end of your 3rd year until the 6th year of your curriculum, you can come, but not before. So if you are a 1st or 2nd year medical student, it's not possible. But that's fine, like, just wait and we will welcome you anytime. Clerkships are of 4 weeks, and it's 4 full weeks. So a full week in France, it's 5 days with 7 hours per day. So basically you start from 9 to like 12 or 1 p.m. Afterwards, you have like a 1 hour pause, and then you continue your day until it's the end. In terms of like dress code, it's really casual, like no need to like wear a costume or anything. Like, you can go in jeans and baskets, it's totally fine. The only thing you have to be like really aware of is that you need to have like hair attached, closed shoes for like a security reason, and a white coat. The white coats, usually like bring one if needed, like to be sure that you have one, but usually it's given by the hospitals. So they just like give it to you like at the beginning of your placement, and every time you need to wash it, you give it back and they give you another one. So it's really like cool. You don't have to deal with the coat at all. You also need stethoscope and reflex hammer. But one more time, like it will depend on your placement. Like, for example, reflex hammer is not used in like surgical placements, but you will deal with it with your Leo and CP. Voilà. Just like a really important thing in France is that we are a secular country. So you can't wear veil in hospital. You can do it like as you want, like in the streets and so on, like this is totally fine. But when you're working in the medical field, you need to not show anything religious. So it's veil, but it also like crosses, anything that could show your religion. So be careful about that, because one more time, it can be a problem in the placements if not really dealt before. Another important thing is that we only welcome in host families. So you will never be in like students' dormitory or anything. You will be with your CP all the time, which is like a great opportunity to bond deeply and have like a real friends from your exchange. So I'm not gonna read that, okay, but it's just to show you that in our exchange conditions, a lot of placements are available, like really, really a lot. But be careful, it depends on every LC. So some LCs are open and for like, I don't know, like for example, maybe addiction medicine is available in Paris, Western Paris, but not like in Marseille. So you have to be careful and go to each explore page to know which placement is precisely available somewhere. Just be careful, like emergency medicine and psychiatry are exclusively for French speakers, because like most of the physicians think that you really need to understand the patient to be efficient and to just like get something from the placement. But anyways, like all the others are fine for English speakers. Just some tips, but one more time, it will get more precise when you will have applied for our country. But you need to do a tourist visa if needed. Like for Brazil, you don't need it, so you don't need a visa. But if needed, you would have done like a tourist one and not a student one. And we can give you an invitation letter, like for your faculty or something, 10 weeks before the exchange. Just be really careful, like our sanitary regulations are really hard because it's just like the hospital ones. You need to have like all those vaccines and to report them in the NM vaccination card. So it's like our special NMO vaccination card, and it's the only one we will accept. Voilà. When it comes to academic quality and social program, because placement is one thing, but like Scopy is also about academic quality and social program. So academic quality is one of our like biggest interests, because we really think that to get you the best experience and to help you getting something back home, you need a great academic quality and good pedagogic methods. So only university hospitals welcome you. So no private clinics, no anything. It's always like university hospitals where teachers are like medicals, like medicine teachers, like in university. So they know how to teach and they are used to students. So you won't be like thrown somewhere where they don't know who you are and like they don't know how to deal with you. You will always have like teachers around and students, of course, because like, of course, in university hospital, they're students. So yes, you will find great friends, I'm sure. In every LC, you have PDT, PDT for outgoings, but like UAT, so mostly in bars, because we think that it's more interesting for you to learn in like a really chill surrounding, but you will have all informations needed anyways. Educational activities, you have like one mandatory for the LC to organize per placement. So if you come, you will have at least one educational activities. Most of the time, it's like presentations, absolutely not. It's like applications of what we learn as French medical students at school. So for example, like tutoring thing or imagery or like simulation. Also, we have like great simulation centers where you enter a room and you just have to deal with like the whole situation. And afterwards you have feedback to explain you what went well, what went wrong, and what could be improved. So this is really like a good point to improve your knowledge in medical field. You will also have to be really careful about handbooks, because like handbooks are mandatory, so you have to follow everything on your placement during the placement, and afterwards you give this handbook to your Leo, just like for information. He will give it back to you afterwards. And if you filled it correctly and the placement went well, you will have the certification. Also know that France provides universal health coverage to its citizens. So you will have like a lot of different patients from a lot of different backgrounds and just social classes. And this is really something that will help you with empathy and just like to understand how to go a bit further in your medical practice. So one more time, a really good educational point. I hope you're still following up. I'm sorry if I speak a lot. Last thing, but not like the least important, social program. So of course, you will know a lot about medical field, but culture is also really, really, really important for us. So we will make you like discover France through local social programs and also national ones. Unfortunately, since COVID, we had like great difficulties to have a new national one, but it should come back in 2025. If everything goes well, it will be in Besançon, which is in the northeast. Voilà. Just like you will deal with this social program part with your CP and LEOs that will explain you everything of what's organized when you're here. It will depend. It goes from like just night out to bars, cinemas, or just like clubs if you need, or just like night walks if it just suits you to see like the sea or the sky or anything, to like great expeditions to I don't know, like kayaking, hiking to the beach, or like to really somewhere else than your town where you're studying. Voilà. Next, just a little piece of information. You can just like, if you need a little break, just don't listen to this part. But for your information, our medical studies last at least 9 years. So it means that we have like 3 years of preclinical stage, 3 years of like clinical stage, which is called externa. And afterwards, when you graduate, you're still considered a student, and you have to like do 3 to 5 more years in hospital to get a bit more confirmed. And so this postgraduate period is called internat, and you will see a lot of interns in hospitals, and this will be most of the time your not your tutors, but like the people you will be able to refer really easily because they're always around, and they're in between like doctors and students, so they're like a bit more accessible and looking like us, so it's easy to speak to them. Last thing, one more time, I will go back to the culture. As you know, we are really known for our culture. Like we have a lot of things to eat, firstly, and it will really depend on where you are in France. Like French culture is a great thing, but it's also really like diverse. In reality, talking about just French culture is not wrong, but it's really imprecise. You will have like the opportunity to discover like a lot of different sides if you go in the north and in the south, and anything like you will not find anything that looks alike. So when you choose your LCs, please, first of all, like apply correctly, but like look into things that you will be astonished about. Like, I mean, if you need to, like, don't apply just for Paris. This is what I'm trying to say. Apply to something that you will not know at all, to be astonished and to discover something really new. So, like, for example, I'm from the Northwest. My culture is absolutely not the same as someone from the East. Like, we don't eat the same. We have like some common things, but we don't eat traditionally the same. We don't have like the same surroundings, etc. So just think into like do real research and try to get the more we can offer you. And of course the baguette, because I had to place it here. Just for your information, it's not the best bread we do, okay? We have a lot of different breads that are better than this one. So one more time, go into it and discover real things from the everyday life that you won't have just in the cliches. So more pastries, because I needed to place this here. But now I would like to talk to you about like our landscapes, because you will be placed in a city. like a very active cities, because like only big university cities have their medical faculty. So you will always have like active student life apart from your department. So this is a good thing. But also we have a lot of nature. So as you see, all those landscapes are in France. You have like really high mountains, beaches, just like crazy fields of lavender, cliffs. Like you can go anywhere, you will find something new and something that won't look like what you've imagined of France. It's not only about like big cities and like Eiffel Tower and so on. You can just get lost in France and think you're in another country. So discover our new nature and don't be afraid to get lost in this and discover things that will astonish you, and you will have like great memories, I'm sure. So more photos. As I said, nature is a thing, but big cities also, and you will have a lot of opportunities to visit museums, monuments, and so on. What is interesting is that monuments are really cheap for students, like for people below 25 years old. Everything is really, really cheap. So you will be able to see a lot of museums, a lot of things, enter like crazy big monuments without paying a lot. So this is something really interesting, and you will have like plenty of time to discover plenty of different things and not be limited by enter ticket, for example. Well, now about our way of life and cliches. I told you not to believe in the cliches, right? But they are kind of real. Like some of them are real. We eat a lot of cheese. This is like the base of our alimentation. We drink a lot of wine. Like for the anecdote, we used to drink wine at school. Like it stopped in the 70s, but before it, like children at school only had wine at the table during lunch and not water. So it just gives you an indication of how important it is in our culture. Bars are also really important. You will have like plenty of time to chill in there. This is like the main meeting point in cities most of the time. And the last thing that is really cliche is la bise. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie, since COVID, it's different, but it's still really here. And sometimes like you will have to get accommodated, accustomed, by the fact that people are gonna get really close to you to say hello. But if it's a problem and so on, you can say no and we'll understand anyways. So now that I spoke a lot, you just need to remember that we are really like a good academic quality country because we think it's the basic that we have to ensure. And this is the main thing in exchanges. Afterwards, you will have like crazy social programs in every LC and luckily a national one in 2025. No, 2024. I'm sorry, we're in 2023. So yes, in 2024, there will be like a national social program in Besançon in the northeast. And you will have like the opportunity to come a bit like earlier or a bit after the placement to visit like real France. And it's like crazy landscapes, crazy monuments, crazy museums, and just lifestyle. I let you like scan this QR code because it's gonna give you, it's gonna get you to a quiz to know, depending on what you like, what French city you should apply to. Voilà. I'm gonna just like let you with this image, and I think I'm done. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Morgan. It was amazing. Like, I love to get to know a little bit more about France. One of the landscapes that you showed, like, I do think it was from Game of Thrones or something like that. And I was like, I didn't know it was in France. I thought it was
really
else,
which
like,
one?
In the UK or Ireland. But now it was this one. Yes.
Oh.
This one is from Game of Thrones.
Wow, André, you're trying to be nice. Actually, this is from my region. This is called Etretat Cliffs. And these are like really, really well-known cliffs that inspired a lot of artists, a lot of like really, really well-known people, such as Monet, for example. And this is really cool. You can go like kayaking around the cliffs, and there's also like seals and so on. This is really like a must. And you have to go there. You need to apply to Caen, which is in the northwest.
Mm-hmm. I've been to France like 3 times, but I hadn't the opportunity to explore France as a whole, because when I went to France, I only visited Paris and Versailles, so I didn't get to know the rest of France.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, like when I have more money, when I graduate, I will have the time and conditions to visit the whole country. Because
I
like
hope
France
you will.
it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah, but as said, like Paris is a must, but go further. Really, like it's
Yeah,
probably
go further.
cities not really well known.
Especially like these landscapes, like most people do not know that it's French. So I would love to visit like the French Alps and everywhere. Like France is beautiful, and the culture as well. I do have some questions from
Yeah,
my
that's
students. About the dress code. Tattoos. Do we need to cover them, or is it accepted in the
No,
hospital?
it's fine. Tattoos and piercings are okay. The only thing is that if you get it, if it's fresh, you need to be really careful because of like septic risks. But actually, like I have like friends that are like fully covered, and it has never been a problem.
Okay, even with patients, like, or do you have any problems with patients with tattoos?
Well, some of them sometimes are a bit like tricky to deal with, but nobody will ever tell you like that it's your fault. Like they will just say, "Oh, he's intolerant, maybe he's old," but like don't take into account. It's fine.
Okay, perfect. And about the National Social Program, it's gonna be 2024, like
Yes.
July, August.
July, August, yes. Actually, we will have like the plan is to get it like at the beginning of July, like in the middle between July and August, and one last edition in the end of August, so that like it covers like a large range, and it will help like everyone to apply if they want.
And which month, like which season, actually, do you think it's the best to go to France? Like during summer, during fall, during spring, or winter?
Well, I think like every season will offer you something new because like culture is different. Like as I said, like during winter we prepare Christmas and it's like really beautiful. Like for example, in the north we have like crazy Christmas markets and things like that. But also like at the beginning of the summer, this is better. Like the weather is better and you will have like more chill vibes from the country because like people are in holidays most of the time, and so they will be a bit more like present for you. Also, just like in logistical, like for logistical issues, we welcome almost everyone at the beginning of the season. So if you apply really late, you won't have like as many choice of cities as at the beginning of the season. So, for example, I'm not really sure I'm clear, but if you want to come like in January, as it's like at the end of the season, be careful to really apply before March to be sure that you will have the spot you want. Because if you wait too long, even if it's going to be okay with exchange conditions, I can't guarantee that if you apply in September, I will have spots like the spots you want left.
I get it. Yeah, we do have a similar problem with my animal, like for incomings. Like when it gets to the end of the season, it gets harder to find the correct spot and clerkship and all. But thank you so much, Morgan. It was amazing. Really, really great. Thank you for accepting the invitation to be here today. My students loved it. They have many, many questions here, but most of them I think I will answer after the event, like on our group. But thank you so much for participating. It was amazing.
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone. Have a nice day.
Bye. Have a nice weekend. Agora a gente vai ter a apresentação do Francisco, que é de Portugal, então a apresentação vai ser em português. É a última apresentação. Como eu disse, o formulário de presença eu vou liberar ele no meio da apresentação. Então, Francisco, pode começar essa apresentação. O Francisco é Nori, de Portugal, tá? Da ENEM Portugal. Então, pode falar em português mesmo, não tem problema. Pode começar quando você quiser.
Hi everyone. Oh, brincadeira, malta. Vou falar em português. Espero que esteja tudo bem convosco. Espero que estejam a gostar aqui do evento. Muito obrigado pelo convite à DENEM, ao André. Não sei se o Gabriel está aqui, mas um grande abraço, que estive com ele na Estónia, na March Meeting. Portanto, queria só aqui deixar...
Eu estava lá também, eu estava lá. Mas,
pois.
Questões de scope, né? O Gabriel ele não veio no evento hoje, mas ele tá lá ainda. Nosso
ok. Ok, top. Bem, então, eu vou começar, pronto. O meu nome é Francisco, sou o Nori, que trato dos intercâmbios de investigação, de SCORI. Então hoje, não sei se estão a ver, não sei, André, ajuda-me, por favor.
Então, sim. Aham.
Está visível, ok, boa. Então, o que é que pensámos em trazer aqui hoje? Pensámos em vos trazer uma vista geral de como é que são os intercâmbios na ANEM em Portugal, ok? Não vamos focar tanto no SCORI, no SCOPE e no SCOF, mas saber que eles existem já é bastante bom. Portanto, vamos começar primeiro Portugal, não é? Já todos sabemos onde é que está. Europa, ali naquele cantinho, aqui, bem um bocadinho distante do centro, não é? É um país à beira-mar plantado, e pronto, é da maneira que até estamos mais perto do Brasil. Ok, então que vistas é que podemos ter em Portugal, não é? Podemos ter cidades muito em contacto com o lado tradicional, ou seja, mesmo hoje, se nós tivermos a sorte de vos receber cá, vão poder contactar com cidades mesmo autênticas, seja o elétrico, seja, não digo a ninguém, mas há uma cidade que tem gôndolas, pronto, em Aveiro, mas portanto vão poder contactar com todo este lado autêntico em cidades que, apesar de terem este lado autêntico, são bastante modernas e movimentam-se muito, muitas pessoas, muito movimento, acho que podem gostar. Temos também, claro, uma forte ligação à cultura, por exemplo, o Palácio da Pena, muito bonito. Isto são todos monumentos em Lisboa, portanto também podem ver alguns monumentos bonitos que mostram a história de Portugal. Depois não nos podemos esquecer também do countryside, ou seja, do campo, que temos vistas que, pelo menos achamos nós, que até são bonitas, sejam as vinhas no Douro, sejam as grandes barragens do Alentejo, Alentejo, pronto, mais para o sul de Portugal, não é? Sejam praias fluviais, olha, as gôndolas que eu estava a falar. Portanto, basicamente, se vierem a Portugal, vão ter um bocadinho de muitos mundos. Vão ter a cidade cosmopolita com o campo calmo para repousar, com a tradição. Vão ter muitos mundos num só, neste caso, num só mês. E acho que é mesmo positivo. As nossas praias, que por acaso, quando vamos a exchanges fair como estas, costumamos falar muito das nossas praias, no entanto, não é? O Brasil e as suas praias e o Brasil são de facto incríveis. Espero pelo menos ao longo da minha vida ter a sorte de ir ao Brasil e, por exemplo, ir às praias no Brasil, porque parecem mesmo incríveis. Então, e como é que funciona o sistema de saúde em Portugal? Bem, os cuidados de saúde são essencialmente públicos, ou seja, temos um Serviço Nacional de Saúde. Depois, claro, há seguros, há hospitais privados que acabam por dar um pequeno auxílio, porque, pronto, apesar de ser saúde pública, nem sempre se consegue dar todos os cuidados a toda a gente, portanto também contamos com isso. Temos uma rede de cuidados de saúde primários, são os centros de saúde, que acabam por ser a porta de entrada, ou seja, aquela barreira entre a comunidade e o hospital. Barreira, mas no bom sentido. Depois, a nossa educação médica, temos 8 escolas médicas no país, de norte a sul, já vamos falar mais um bocadinho sobre isso. É um mestrado integrado em medicina, são 6 anos, fazemos um exame final, temos um internato, somos internos de formação geral, ou seja, temos um ano em que tanto eu como o Joca do Porto vai ter as suas formações, ou seja, vai construir os pilares dos cuidados médicos de forma muito igual à minha, e depois sim acabamos por nos especializar nas especialidades que levam 4 a 6 anos. Portanto, também há de ser muito semelhante no Brasil, não é? Nós, futuros médicos, não paramos de estudar, não paramos de nos melhorar, sempre para ter os melhores cuidados de saúde em vista. Ok, vamos à parte dos intercâmbios, que é para isso que nós estamos aqui hoje. Então, de norte a sul do país, nós fazemos os 3 intercâmbios que estamos aqui a falar hoje, não é? Temos intercâmbios de investigação, SCORI, temos os intercâmbios clínicos, os SCOPE, e temos os intercâmbios de saúde pública, que são FECS. Portanto, estamos bastante orgulhosos de poder receber estes 3, porque são mesmo muito bons e qualquer um deles, e isto mesmo para vocês, qualquer um destes intercâmbios em que vocês participem, vai ser bom, vai ser útil para o vosso futuro enquanto médicos. Portanto, atualmente, das 8 LCs, das 8 faculdades que recebem estudantes de intercâmbio, 8 recebem os intercâmbios clínicos, portanto, de Braga ao Algarve. Atualmente, apenas 7 recebem intercâmbios de investigação, mas estamos a fazer todos os esforços para poder abrir a 8ª, ou seja, no Algarve, na próxima temporada, na próxima season. Mas, de momento, apenas 7. Ok, e tínhamos aqui um vídeo, mas acho que vamos deixá-lo para depois, porque podem vê-lo em casa. Como é que isto se tira? Não sei. Ok. Uau. Desculpem, sou muito verdinho na questão do streaming, mas acho que agora será. Não sei. Ok. Boa, agora avancei tudo. Olha que bem. Ok, pronto. Já aqui estamos. Pronto, então, vamos agora só dar uma vista geral de todos os local committees, todas as faculdades que vos podem receber. Portanto, vamos começar pelo norte. Temos a Escola Médica da Universidade do Minho, que é o DENEM-II, em Braga. Braga é a cidade mais jovem do país e, portanto, vão ter contacto com uma escola médica moderna, com um ambiente bastante jovem e também, sendo que não está numa das 2 grandes cidades do país, porque as grandes cidades do país são Lisboa e Porto, acabam por também ter um contacto ainda mais próximo com a parte calma, com o campo, ok? Depois, temos as outras 2 LCs, Local Committees, no Porto, o ICBAS, que é o Instituto de Ciências Biomédicas Abel Salazar, e a Faculdade de Medicina da Universidade do Porto, que a FMUP está num dos maiores hospitais do nosso país, e o ICBAS, que acaba por ser dos institutos com infraestrutura mais recente, é bastante recente, e eu estive lá há umas semanas e aquilo de facto é mesmo muito moderno e é muito interessante ver o design. Portanto, todos estes sítios têm unidades de investigação também, portanto vão poder completar também o vosso currículo bastante bem. Agora vamos passar assim ao centro do país, onde temos a Covilhã, com a Faculdade de Ciências da Saúde da Universidade da Beira Interior, e Coimbra, a famosa cidade estudante, com a Faculdade de Medicina da Universidade de Coimbra. Então, o que é que a Covilhã vos tem para oferecer? A Covilhã tem para vos oferecer o ponto mais alto de Portugal continental, que é a Serra da Estrela. Portanto, vão ser confrontados com vistas incríveis sobre as cidades e sobre os territórios circundantes, e a própria cidade, a Covilhã, é muito interessante porque é toda construída na encosta da Serra da Estrela. Portanto, é engraçado, é diferente de todas as cidades do nosso país, do nosso Portugal. Portanto, é algo interessante de se ver. E depois também tem gastronomia própria, muito interessante. Vocês de certeza conhecem o pastel de nata, não é? Na Covilhã há uma inovação chamada pastel de cereja, porque lá há muita produção de cereja, portanto decidiram, bem, pastel de nata é bom, vamos juntar cereja, como é que fica? Tenho-vos a dizer que fica mesmo, mesmo bom. Depois Coimbra, como eu estava a dizer, é a antiga cidade dos estudantes, é a universidade mais antiga do país. Vocês não sei se estão a ver aqui estas 2 pessoas com capas, parece que estão saídas de um filme do Harry Potter, mas não, é o famoso traje académico português. Os nossos estudantes usam este traje que consiste basicamente, acaba por ser quase um fato, mas depois tem a capa e tem todo um significado, e se vierem para Portugal vão acabar por ver estudantes envergando o traje académico. Portanto, é algo que também podem esperar ver. Agora, passamos para a capital e sul do país. Temos a Faculdade de Medicina da Universidade de Lisboa, também num dos 2 maiores hospitais do país. Temos a Nova Medical School, a Faculdade de Ciências Médicas da Universidade Nova de Lisboa, e temos a Faculdade de Medicina e Ciências Biomédicas da Universidade do Algarve. Como sabem, esta aqui não recebe ainda score, ou seja, intercâmbios de investigação, mas estamos a fazer um grande esforço para que passe a receber. A Faculdade de Medicina da Universidade de Lisboa pronto, é a escola médica mais antiga do país. Curiosamente, o edifício original da faculdade era onde agora é a nova, isto é no Campo Santana, acaba por ser aqui onde nasce o ensino médico em Portugal. Portanto, também é algo muito giro de se ver, tem muita história ligada, seja à FMUL, seja à NMS. A Universidade do Algarve acaba por ser única no seu perfil de educação médica, porque recebe estudantes que já tiraram licenciaturas noutros cursos da saúde, por exemplo, ciências farmacêuticas, enfermagem, e toda a metodologia de ensino acaba por ser mais virada para os problemas, ou seja, problem-based learning, e acaba então por inovar um bocado aquilo que se ensina nas nossas escolas médicas. Pronto, agora, vocês já devem estar a pensar, e quando é que eu posso vir de intercâmbio para Portugal? Pois bem, aqui está o nosso calendário, só para intercâmbios clínicos e de investigação. Os intercâmbios clínicos conseguem receber-vos de janeiro a novembro, claro, depende das disponibilidades de cada LC, e os intercâmbios de investigação apenas de fevereiro a novembro. Sim, nós nos intercâmbios de investigação tiramos o janeiro para nós para descansar um pouco. Ok, então, e o que é que eu tenho a ganhar com o intercâmbio, não é? É aquilo que vocês se devem estar a perguntar, mas com todas as apresentações das outras NMOs dos outros países que já aqui estiveram, de certeza que já têm isto em parte respondido. Pois bem, aqui são aqueles documentos que é aquele handbook e o logbook que vocês devem levar no vosso intercâmbio, seja clínico, seja de investigação, também há um para os intercâmbios de saúde pública, e que basicamente acaba por fazer um acompanhamento da vossa aprendizagem. Vocês registram lá aquilo que aprenderam e também as presenças, não é? Porque também queremos ter um certificado no fim. Portanto, também é um documento bastante útil para isso. E depois temos aquilo que nós, a NEM Portugal, vos oferecemos a vocês, seja antes de virem, seja à chegada. Portanto, antes de chegarem a Portugal, antes de partirem, temos um Pre-Arrival Training ou Pre-Departure Training, que é dado a nível nacional e, basicamente, vos dá uma vista geral daquilo que são os intercâmbios em Portugal, como é que funciona o sistema de saúde, ou seja, uma explicação ainda mais complexa, mas mais útil também daquilo que eu vos disse ainda há pouco. E depois temos o Upon Arrival Training, que é organizado a nível local e o seu âmbito é muito extenso. Saem de lá com várias capacidades, várias skills que aprendem e que vos vão ser úteis, não só no vosso intercâmbio, mas também depois na vossa prática clínica ou caso queiram seguir investigação. Portanto, o Upon Arrival Training acaba por ser organizado mais a nível local. Portanto, acabam por ter uma experiência diferente se forem para Lisboa do que se forem para Coimbra, por exemplo. Mas depois acaba por ser útil também. Agora, atividades, não é? O intercâmbio é uma experiência muito ampla que passa não só pela qualidade académica, mas também pela aprendizagem cultural e pela troca de experiências. Portanto, cada local committee oferece um programa social local, que vamos falar mais à frente, e depois a nível nacional temos também um programa social nacional em julho e em agosto, que permite não só conhecerem um outro ponto do país, porque às vezes pode ser complicado ir de fim de semana, assim nós organizamos as coisas por vocês e vocês só têm de se juntar a nós, vão conhecer outros estudantes de outras partes do país, sejam portugueses, sejam outros estudantes de intercâmbio como vocês. Portanto, também é uma oportunidade única para conhecer Portugal e para conhecer outras pessoas e outras culturas. Ok, por falar em questões locais. Locais temos não só o programa social, mas também formas de garantir a qualidade académica. Portanto, no programa social, dependendo do sítio onde estão, as atividades são imensas. Temos sorte de até ser originais, não é? Portanto, tanto podemos passar de ir à praia como ir ao Cristo Rei. O Cristo Rei é um monumento em Lisboa que é tipo, é como se fosse o Cristo Redentor que tem no Rio, só que o nosso é muito mais pequeno. Portanto, é como se fossem ver uma versão em miniatura do Cristo Redentor. Tem noites de fado. Fado é um género musical muito português, com raízes em Coimbra e em Lisboa. É mesmo bonito de se ver porque é diferente e transmite outros sentimentos. Eu, pelo menos, sempre que ouço fado, dá-me arrepios, a sério. E depois, claro, temos também, por exemplo, aulas de surf, an international ou international drinks and food party, ou seja, são aqueles eventos em que vocês trazem da vossa comida, nós trazemos da nossa, os outros estudantes trazem da sua e partilhamos todos, acaba por ser uma partilha da comida e da bebida, que também é outro excelente contacto para as culturas, não é? Para conhecermos diferentes culturas. Depois, temos aqui a prova de vinhos do Porto. O vinho do Porto é um vinho que acaba por ser diferente dos vinhos normais, porque é mais doce. A Rainha de Inglaterra, antes de falecer, bebia, pelo menos é o que se dizia, bebia um copo de vinho do Porto por dia, portanto, pergunto-me se não estará associado à longevidade. Estou a brincar, malta, não sei, não tenho dados científicos sobre isso. Portanto, o não falta é atividades de programa social. Nós orgulhamos de ter um programa social cheio, todos os dias, é só quererem aparecer e vêm aos nossos programas sociais. Depois, em termos de qualidade académica, palestras, os workshops não só também inseridos no Upon Arrival Training, ou seja, de cada LC, que vai de áreas, por exemplo, de investigação, não sei, seja, por exemplo, Basic Lab Skills, as capacidades básicas num laboratório, sejam coisas mais clínicas, suturas, intubação, ecografia, nós temos de tudo. Este QR Code, para onde é que vos leva? Não sei se já foram escanear, podem experimentar. Ele tem um Linktree onde basicamente podem aceder ao vídeo que eu decidi não mostrar há pouco, portanto, se quiserem, fica aqui o desafio, podem vê-lo depois, e também é um quiz que vos pode dizer qual é a vossa LC, ou seja, se vocês viessem para Portugal, façam aquele quiz e vejam, epá, eu se calhar sou mais de Coimbra, não, eu sou mais do Porto, e pode ser bom para verem onde é que ficam inseridos, mas caso venham e não fiquem naquele que vos dá no quiz, não se preocupem, em princípio vão gostar, ok? Pronto. Agora, já estou mesmo a terminar. Queria que isto fosse curto também para terem espaço para as vossas perguntas. Portanto, o que é que fica aqui no fim? Convido-vos a seguir as 2 páginas de Instagram, a da ANEM Medicina, que é da nossa NMO, ou seja, da ANEM toda. Ficam a saber tudo e mais alguma coisa sobre o que se passa em Portugal em termos de medicina. E uma mais para os intercâmbios, que é anem.exchanges, que tem avisos não só para nós estudantes portugueses, para irmos de intercâmbio, mas também algumas coisinhas que vocês também podem gostar. E pronto, é tudo para esta apresentação. Make a change, go for exchange. É uma oportunidade única e espero que a possam experimentar e seria um enorme gosto poder-vos receber aqui em Portugal. E pronto, isto termina, vou parar a minha partilha e vamos voltar aqui ao stream para ver o André. E sim, só o André.
Só eu por enquanto. Matheus não conseguiu vir hoje, infelizmente. Né? Nem Matheus nem Gabriel. Eu queria que eles tivessem vindo. Mas final de semana que vem eles estão aqui. Francisco, muito obrigado pela apresentação, tá? Foi, assim, muito legal. É até estranho, assim, que a gente, depois de um dia inteiro só, eu vendo apresentações em inglês, uma apresentação em português no final para fechar com chave de ouro, né? Muito obrigado pela apresentação. Deixa eu perguntar uma coisa, falando agora sobre a língua mesmo. Nos hospitais a gente é liberado para falar português, certo? Não tem nenhuma restrição, os professores vão entender. Mesmo que tenha outros encaminhos de que não falam em português, a gente pode continuar falando em português com os tutores, com os pacientes, certo?
Sim. A maioria dos nossos tutores são portugueses, portanto, falar português com eles, alguns até agradecem, porque o inglês não é assim tão bom, mas sim, o português acaba por ser confortável e até posso falar mais dos nossos projetos de investigação. Ficam todos convidados, todos os que nos estejam a ver, a irem à Exchanges Database da IFMSA, ver que projetos é que temos disponíveis nas nossas LCs, coisas de neurologia, a tudo. Nós temos um bocadinho de tudo, há bioquímica e ciências básicas, e se forem ver nas línguas aceites, o português está lá sempre. Portanto, acho que podem ficar confortáveis com o português.
Entendi. Não sei se você vai conseguir me informar sobre essa parte, que você é enorme, mas sobre a parte prática dos intercâmbios, né, do scope. Você sabe o que nós, como estudantes, podemos fazer, assim, se a gente pode fazer estudo, se a gente pode fazer anamnese, exame físico, ou fica mais restrito ao observacional?
Ui, por acaso isso já é uma pergunta bastante complicada. Porque pronto, é verdade, eu estou mais ligado aos intercâmbios de investigação, mas a ideia que tenho é que os incomings, ou seja, vocês, estudantes de intercâmbio que vêm para Portugal, têm um tratamento semelhante e se calhar às vezes até melhor do que do que nossos estudantes de medicina portugueses. Não sei ao certo que possibilidades é que têm para fazer coisas mais com as vossas mãos, mas também vai depender muito do hospital, do serviço. Portanto, acho que depende muito, acho que varia, tanto podem ter uma grande experiência como não sei.
Entendi. Uma pergunta que surgiu aqui da Laís é uma pergunta um pouco mais sensível, assim, que no Brasil como um todo, não só tipo dentro dos intercâmbios de medicina, mas porque tem muito brasileiro que vai embora para Portugal, né? Até por conta que não tem a barreira linguística, mas ouve-se muito sobre casos de xenofobia e preconceito com brasileiros, assim, porque por vários motivos, né? Contra imigrantes como um todo. Isso é visível assim nos intercâmbios ou você acha que isso não afeta tanto? Não pelos médicos, não pelo LC, não pela DENEM-II em si, mas por exemplo, pelos pacientes ou por eventualmente outras pessoas que trabalham no hospital, sabe?
Pois, era mesmo fixe. Eu adoraria chegar aqui e dizer não há em Portugal disso, não há xenofobia, estaria a mentir. Existe, infelizmente é um problema que se pode dizer que está cada vez mais crescente, até porque mesmo em termos de forças políticas o assunto começa a ser abordado, mas mais negativamente, portanto a coisa não está boa em si. No entanto, nos nossos intercâmbios, orgulhamos de ter um safe space, um espaço seguro. Portanto, de certa forma, acabam por ficar protegidos daquilo que alguns imigrantes até estão sujeitos nas suas vidas em Portugal. Portanto, eu, pelo menos da minha visão e da visão dos intercâmbios, não há esse problema, não é tão premente. E depois outra coisa, nós cá em Portugal, muitos de nós, de certeza que temos uma opinião sobre imigração e de certeza que há pessoas da xenofobia, opinião dos brasileiros. No entanto, a coisa muda quando se sabe que são estudantes de medicina. Não sei se isto é comum a outros países, mas sim, nós nos intercâmbios fazemos procuramos assegurar, e é mesmo um esforço, que os intercâmbios sejam seguros para toda a gente. Não interessa de onde é que vêm. O que importa é que são estudantes de medicina que estão para vir aprender e que não deve haver esse tipo de entraves. Portanto, qualquer situação... Primeiro, pronto, não sei de situações que aconteçam em específico, mas não, é mesmo um esforço que temos em que isso não aconteça. Portanto, Laísa, acho que pode ficar mais descansada.
Muito obrigado pela resposta, Francisco. Foi muito boa mesmo. Francisco, muito obrigado por ter participado do nosso evento, tá? Foi muito bom, foi muito legal. Para fechar com chave de ouro, né, uma apresentação em português é a melhor coisa que tinha. Muito obrigado. Os alunos aqui elogiaram muito o evento, elogiaram muito essa apresentação também. Muito obrigado por tudo, tá?
Obrigado pelo convite.
Né? Ah, imagina. Você vai na August Meeting? Né?
Vou sim. Vai? Ainda vou ver se arranjo algumas coisinhas para levar aos delegados da DENEM, porque eles também deram para mim, então agora não é? Portanto, sim, lá estarei para promover também os intercâmbios em Portugal outra vez. Pronto, portanto, muito obrigado pelo convite. Vai também à August?
Não, vai a Sabrina no meu lugar. Eu fui na March, então...
trocam. Pois.
A Sabrina e o Matheus. O Matheus vai no Score.
Ok, está bem, pronto. Sempre dá para conhecer outras pessoas. Olha, também queria agradecer muito às pessoas que estão aqui a deixar comentários. Muito obrigado pelos vossos comentários. Nós também precisamos deles para saber o que é que os estudantes procuram quando se está numa Exchange Fair. Portanto, também muito obrigado. Portanto, basicamente, obrigado Brasil, obrigado DENEM.
Obrigado, Francisco. Tchau, tchau.
Tchau.
Bom, gente, então, teve bastante dúvidas aqui no chat. Eu vou pedir para vocês entrarem em contato com as colegas de vocês, tá? Eu não consegui responder todas. Tentei ali, mas também precisa prestar atenção durante a apresentação. Muito, muito obrigado pelas dúvidas. Muito obrigado por terem comparecido. Já enviei o formulário 2 vezes aqui no chat, tá? Obrigado pela presença de todos. Amanhã não tem, perguntaram quais países que vai ter amanhã, né? Amanhã não tem apresentação. Vai ser só dia 24 e dia 25. Dia 24 a gente ainda está fechando de confirmar, mas por quando a gente já tem México, Alemanha e Itália. Domingo a gente tem Etiópia, Indonésia, Polônia e um outro país, mas depois a gente vai divulgar sempre qual é o cronograma no dia anterior. Por exemplo, sexta-feira a gente vai divulgar quem vai apresentar no sábado. Sábado a gente vai apresentar quem vai apresentar domingo. Beleza? Muito obrigado pela presença no evento, tá? Vejo vocês semana que vem. Tchau, tchau. Obrigado.